You're listening to the Walkout. What's happening, man? How are you doing this weekend? Or this weekend? How are you doing this evening?
We're almost there.
Almost to the
Yeah, we're
weekend.
technically, because some of us are going to have a short week, which is going to take us into the weekend.
That's
I am.
As we record this, it is Veterans Day weekend.
Yeah, we're
All
getting
right.
there. We are getting there, so that's awesome. But actually, I'm doing all right, brother. There's, like anybody in the world, I could complain, but who is going to listen?
Right.
So yeah, but it's been a good time. I've done a lot of traveling. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you've been around.
Yeah, I'm really not a good traveler. I don't like to do it. I just kind of like being in the area that I'm in, and don't really like too much of my schedule and things messed with. But when you gotta travel, you have to pack. You need to buy tickets, and you gotta get there, and then you gotta land, and you gotta do this whole thing and be gone. So.
Yeah, and you're being over 6 foot tall. It's already a hassle to travel.
You better believe the word. I don't, I'm a person who I'm gonna sit by the window and that's requesting a seat. So now you're paying another, I don't know, $30-$40 to get by a window,
Right.
and that's not giving you any more room on the chair. So you're right. It being 6'1" and sitting there scrunched up. I don't want to go on a flight of 10 hours. I don't want to go on 15-hour flights. I don't want to go to other countries where
Right.
it's either purchase a high priced first class ticket so that you can be comfortable, or be stuffed in a normal.
What a scam that is too, that they can have everything is designed for somebody who's like 5'9" because that's the average height. Like, that's such a con. Like, you need to make it comfortable for like the largest person to go through. It should be comfortable for Shaq to be able to sit on every flight.
Yeah,
not just
right.
the medium sized person.
See, and
Ridiculous to
I
me.
don't understand why you look on the plane, right, and you see all these chairs, these seats that they have jammed, and it's like you don't feel that maybe you should cut out 20 of these chairs to make the chairs a little more comfortable. I mean, literally comfortable for more people. And I understand it's about money. I mean, but come on, man. Come on.
It feels like just for a little tiny bit of comfort that people will be willing to pay just a little bit more,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll pay a little more if you make it comfortable.
Yeah, it seems really bizarre to me that they do that. And I've worked on airplanes, and I did the interiors where we're on the planes when nobody's on there, and like it was amazing because some of the stuff we did would be like repair the tracks that the seats were on,
right?
And it was amazing how close those seats were. I couldn't even get down there to work, and you're like, how do people sit on these things?
Yeah,
and some airlines were a lot worse than others.
Yeah, it's not the greatest thing. So yeah, flying is the one thing that I'm not. I'm like, come on, man. Every time when I have to, and I get the change of climate. So like if I go somewhere else, and then when I get back home, I get sick. So it's just I like driving. So get me in my car, get me in a car, and we can switch off, drive hours a piece, and get where we're going, see a bunch of stuff.
It's funny you say that because more recently I've been kind of getting that road bug to get out there where I would drive and my first show might be 6 hours away from here, and then the next show might be 3 or 4 hours from there, and then the next show would be a couple hours away. But night after night you're staying at a hotel, getting up, and then you're traveling a few hours, and then you're in another town. And that was like a really like a special thing because you're going through all these little towns, and you're kind of leaving your mark and then just kind of moving on. And that's driving. I enjoy the driving part of it. It's really cool.
I got to live a little bit of travel life when I did music, but I always wanted to live that type of life where you just kind of, you got to travel from night to night, different places, and meeting a bunch of different people, and and just you're just out there. Yeah. It's a part of life where that is a cool thing, and I don't envy it, but I say it when I see it for other people. I'm like, man, that must be such a great feeling just to be out there and traveling the world, or hell, even travel in the United States.
Like, it'd be fun to catch on with an MMA organization that kind of goes around from little towns, kind of like the old wrestling organizations used to. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, we'd be just
for sure.
All right, we'll see you in Fresno tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah, just somewhere that got you traveling and seeing stuff.
Yeah. I think that'd be a blast.
So there has been a lot of fights that have came and gone and coming up since me and you last recorded, bro.
Have we gotten together since the expo? Did we do one since the expo?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
I was thinking we did.
Yeah, we did. And then, so you already know at this point, man, there's the crazy thing is I got to see the Ngannou fight and Fury. What'd you think? Did you hear anything? What was your take on that?
Everything that I heard and read and the few clips that I saw indicated that Francis Ngannou put MMA like really, really far up against boxing. Like, he really took MMA, gave MMA a lot of credibility, because the common thought was that, MMA fighters wouldn't be able to cross over into boxing as easy as a boxer would be able to cross over to MMA. Well, Francis Ngannou apparently won the fight, and they weren't able to give it to him for whatever reason. At least that's the way it sounded. I didn't see it, so I can't call it. But at the very least, he left a good imprint on the sport of boxing in the name of MMA.
For sure. I give him a lot of props. Tyson Fury is one of my very liked fighters. I don't want to say, it's my favorite fighter, because I only have like a few favorite fighters. Like, it's my all-time favorites, but he definitely is in my top 5 fighters. And because he understands the art of boxing, and I like that. That's how I am as a fighter now. That fight, I was very, very proud of Francis Ngannou, because how he looked and how he took, the initiative to look good in doing it. Now, there were times where when he got tired, he kind of went back to his old ways, but then he snapped himself right back into it. Nice check hook, caught him, dropped him. Should have won the fight. Reason he didn't, because, in this thing we call sports, money is bigger than a win.
Yeah.
So people are like, there's no way we can. All of a sudden, this guy, an MMA guy, comes to fight the champ, who is the world heavyweight champion of the world, and he wins over him. It's going to be this big spectacle and blah, blah, blah. So they say he lost.
And plus, there's a lot more money in a rematch this way, too.
For sure. The rematch is on, and the way that'll work is they're going to want Tyson Fury to get, they're already talking about it, needs to get in there and defend that belt, not these spectacles for money, or you'll lose them. Mm-hmm. And that's fine, because there's some real, there's some people who want it, and they're coming to him and trying to take it from him.
Right.
So he's going to have to do something. You came off the charity events, or I don't know what they call these fights anymore.
The exhibitions, yeah.
It's really weird, because they call them exhibitions, but they're fights to me.
Yeah.
He was lumped up the next day.
Right.
I mean, he was pretty beat up, and so it was really good to see him come from mixed martial arts, which I don't know if a lot of people know. He started as a boxer. I don't know, in his country, that's what he wanted to be, and I guess he was told, hey, MMA is probably best, and he went back to what he loved and had Mike Tyson, in his corner.
Wow, that
crazy. That was his coach. So, and he looked like he used some of the stuff he was told.
Yeah,
for sure.
Wow,
for sure.
I don't know how you coach what Tyson does, but
you know what? I'm sure. He learned from the great so I'm sure Mike Tyson can be a great coach if he wants to be.
Yeah, and I know Tyson's a big guy on mindset because he
for
was
sure.
for as crazy as people thought he was the best fight seller of our time. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's I think that's the crazy thing is to have him in your corner when you're such a big dude, heavyweight. He is the most vicious heavyweight fighter I've ever. So
There was nobody in my lifetime. There was nobody more feared than
No.
Mike Tyson was in his.
not
prime.
at all.
That was a terrifying dude.
Not at all.
No flash.
Not at all.
Just the black trunks and the black shoes
Not at all.
and a freaking monstrous fist.
Not at all. If you can find me another one who you thought was better than him and more, more ferocious and just came and knocked out your favorite fighter like he was nothing.
Yeah.
Don't try to don't bring that shit telling me who he didn't fight. He beat up your favorite fighter before everyone had a favorite fighter, right? Before he came, well, he whooped his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, hey, that's why he goes down in history. So,
Yeah.
he had him in his corner. He has a lot of history behind.
Imagine if Cuss lived for, another 10, 15 years. I mean, Tyson's story would have been so much different.
Oh, hell yeah, he wouldn't have been allowed to do none of the stuff people came in and tried to do after he passed on would not have happened.
Could you imagine that? I doubt that the Robin Givens would have gotten her hooks into him.
He would have said, "Get that ratchet, get her the hell out of here." Yeah, he wouldn't have fell for it, and that's what sucks about the industry and people being, in the fight world. It happens all the time in every sport.
Well, and he was at his most vulnerable, having a really pretty severe loss, with Cuss being the closest thing to a father he really had, and then that's when the predators all pop in.
Yep, great. And I think Mike Tyson has it's like stand up where he like is talking. He's on a stage and he has like a big projector behind him going over like just different things as he's explaining. But that was a very, very humbling experience to watch that and hear it from the horse's mouth, everything.
Oh wow! So you were able to go when he did. I remember when he did his stand-up tour.
Yeah, I just saw it on the video. Like,
oh, did you?
Yeah, I watched it. On TV because it's on video, but it was powerful and it was cool to see him because he broke down actually on that show, but just talking about his life and all the things that he went through. And it's cool to see him now, very humbled. Just freaking eating mushrooms and smoking weed and podcast.
What else is he making more money than he ever did before?
Ever, and having a great time doing it. Still ferocious. I wish somebody would try to do something to him. He'll fuck you up.
But he seems to be so at peace.
He's at peace, man. But he's lost a child. He's lost everything. Gained it back. I mean, that's when you probably really find that peace inside your heart that you're looking for. Where you just, man, I'm just happy. I'm sure that's how he feels. Like, went through all the pain and struggles, and now I'm just here, and I'm happy.
Yeah, there's pains that kind of become part of you, and then you have to just become at peace with that part, and
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an amazing thing to see that kind of growth and all of that, especially because, at one point everybody saw him as this lunatic bad guy,
Right.
And I don't think that there are people that dislike Mike Tyson like they used to be, and I think that that's a good thing.
For sure. I'm glad that now he's a household name. I mean, he was a household name before that, but the likeness behind his name is changing now. Right. And that's a great thing. Instead of you looking at him as the monster rapist, this and that, you now see Mike Tyson as, this visionary, and you see him as somebody who's like pushed past so many obstacles and reinvented itself for good. So that means, when people see that, anyone can do it. Anyone who's been pushed down, beat up, told they're not good enough, had things taken from them, they can look at his story and that'll tell you that you just keep pushing, and you get to that point where you'll come growing out of the soil, and, good things. So
yeah, what a roller coaster, because he went from having nothing and desperation to finding his way kind of with cuss and getting everything, feeling like he had everything, and then losing everything again.
For sure.
Everything that he had any kind of confidence in.
Yeah, nobody really caring for him, and that is that's painful.
Yeah.
Painful in itself. So yeah, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I total agreement with that. I really do like seeing his story arc, because it's amazing to see as his businesses keep growing and his endeavors and his podcast and everything that he does. It's just now he can't go wrong, because he's just being himself and he's doing good things.
For sure, flourishing.
Yeah,
definitely flourishing.
I don't know that I've watched any MMA since the last time that we've sat together.
Wow. What was that? Just recently, the Black Beast fought, which was real. What can I say?
I did watch the replay on that, man.
What can I say?
Woo!
I feel bad for the Beast, because it just, I don't know. That guy didn't throw no punches whatsoever, besides when he laid and prayed. Those shots came from the ground, and I don't know. For Derek, I'm sure that was just very frustrating. It was a boring fight to watch, but definitely not on his part. He's ready to swing and bang. So I don't know. That guy Almeida came, and it was like ding, drop, boom, grab.
Yeah.
Drop, boom, grab, drop, grab. So it was a lot of that, bro.
Yeah.
Not even, that's why it's not talked about. It wasn't no big fight to talk about.
No, is that why they're showing clips from older fights now?
Yeah. Yeah, because it just was, it was just not what you would have, wanted to see. I wanted to see these two guys, punch it out, and I knew Beast was looking for it. He was trying to get, but this guy wasn't allowing him to get ready at all. Attacking the legs right away.
Yeah, that might be I don't know if it's a weakness for Beast, but he doesn't have like the biggest legs.
Well, and so and when you and your coaches are there, and that's you guys' like job to pick away something that will help you with this fight. I think that Almeida's coaches may have saw that, because he attacked that in a certain way. He grabbed at the lowest part so he can bunch the legs together.
Oh, okay.
And so it wasn't like he was grabbing towards the hips or anything like that, or on the thigh to do these takedowns. He was bunching up the smaller part of the leg, which would, it was just taking him down every time.
Oh.
So that's something they worked on. They had to
shoestring tackles.
Yep, they were like, hey, let's use that, and he was a nice sized Brazilian guy.
Wow.
Or whatever. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest fight, but I do know there's going to be some fireworks coming this week.
Yeah.
For this fight.
Yeah, you're talking about our UFC coming up. What is it? The UFC?
Yeah, that is 295 is coming up. And that is going to be a freaking amazing fight. That main card is Prochazka. Well, it's really hard to say that guy's name. Prochazka and Alex Pierre. And somebody's going to get knocked out or their head kicked off. I'm calling it already right now, so say what you want. Somebody's going to get knocked out.
So you think that's going to be a fairly quick fight?
If not fairly quick, it's just going to definitely be by punch out or kick out.
It's gonna happen at some point.
it's good to see. It's gonna be good to see this fight. I'm excited. We're gonna see Aspinall and Pavlovich fight. That should be cool to see. It really breaks my freaking balls that John Jones is not fighting Maeshek, and
oh, that's right.
I was supposed to be out there this weekend in New York with the 360 promotions. They're out there. King Callum will be out there fighting tomorrow, actually, in New York. So I was supposed to be out there, but some of the guys, it worked out to where I'm home on this one. But they're out there though. He's gonna fight tomorrow. So if you guys are on the Fight Pass, get on there. Watch King Callum Walsh get in here. Freaking probably pick up another belt from some guy in New York who's gonna smash. I'm sure.
Nice.
It's definitely gonna be a good night of fights. That's Tom Loeffler. Hollywood Fight Nights, and so it should be really cool. But that the weekend, which is Saturday, 295 will be there, and there's just gonna be a slew of great fights. But like I said, it was supposed to be the Maeshek Jones that got canceled because if I'm not mistaken, Jones is like a pulled hernia or
was it Jones that had to pull out?
I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is Jones who got hurt.
Oh, that's a bummer. He hasn't been able to fight in a while.
And I think they were saying like 8 months. I don't know.
Stipe's not gonna wait that long, is he?
I don't know, man.
I wonder.
That was going to be a crazy fight, but we still get to see on the prelim cards our hometown sister.
That's right. I saw her on
Tabata Ricci.
I saw her on the Instagram with the.
She was with Callum. They're out there chilling out.
Yeah, I did just. Oh, that's right. Okay, There we go. That's who you're talking about. All right. Now I realize.
Yeah, now it's all computing together. So, that's cool. They'll both hopefully walk away with 2 W's and have a great time celebrating in New York. So it should be interesting. Bring it on home, Tab.
Yeah, that should be fun. She's taking on Lupi Godinez, who
Lupi
she's fighting out of Mexico, but
for
whatever reason the name is not familiar with me. But looking through, she had she had wins over names that we're familiar with, and I think she's won like 11 in the UFC alone. So she's been around, just maybe not on cards that I've been watching.
Well, she's number 13 going up against our number 10 Tabitha, and so it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an awesome strawweight bout between these two. Brazil against Mexico, so there will definitely be, they can, the language barrier won't be there because they speak, almost the same kind of language as a few different twangs. Now, go back. This is going to be amazing. Go back to Van. This is the coolest thing. Go up. I mean down. We're going back. There we go. And there it is. Okay. Good old Joshua Van. Now, if you guys do not know, this is 4 ounce. This is where my brother's camp is from. Joshua Van is now on the flyweight bouts of the UFC, and it's really cool to see. When I'm out there, I get to train with these guys, and it's really, really cool to see. So I want to, give him a awesome congratulations, brother. Good to see you on the card going up against Kevin Boras. Josh has been training super hard, and this is just really cool to see. And so to be able to watch this on the early prelims, watch my guy get in there and toss it up is going to be a cool thing. It says 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so
I think that might be the start of the actual card. I think
early prelims start at 7.
They're like, I think the early prelims are earlier. I think the early prelims are probably like at 3 or 4 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, I can't imagine the prelims starting that late, especially in New York because they're in New York.
Oh, but you got to you remember how, what's that thing about New York? They always start things late in New York. So because they're 11 o'clock is our.
It's 8 p.m. to us. So if we, so yeah, I think. Okay, so the prelims. Let's see, the prelims start at 5.
Okay. All right, 5.
Early prelims start at 3. Okay.
All right, there we go.
So there we go. Early prelims start at 3. I'm like, well,
All
man,
right.
how late do they expect them?
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad we got that all worked out.
If the early prelims started at 7 our time, that'd be 10 p.m. their time. They'd be there till like
tired.
6 in the morning.
They'll be tired. All right, so we got this all mapped in. 3 o'clock. I'll be watching Van fight for sure. I need to watch my guy represent the foes. And that's cool, man. Yeah, you guys definitely tune in to watch a good night of fights.
It's actually always good to try to catch prelims. I've told you before that me and my buddy Carlos went to Aldo versus McGregor.
Yeah.
And we went, and the early prelims were all guys that are now, either champions or people that everybody knows of. Like I remember as we were walking in, Max Holloway was fighting.
That's cool.
And then Max Holloway, that was like at the beginning of his kind of fame
yeah,
part.
He was on his way up.
Yeah, because he was in
That's awesome.
He was in the prelims, like and not like the end of the prelims either. He fought before Tisha Torres.
That's nice.
But yeah, so it was kind of a trip though. So I always recommend to try to catch prelims if you can, because you're gonna catch that up and coming star, and sometimes you see it in them, and you're like, okay, this is somebody I want to watch.
Yeah, it's very true. So don't miss. Definitely watch the early prelims. There's great fights. Those are the guys who are on their way up.
Especially Joshua Van fighting out of Texas.
Yep, definitely for sure. Hey, something that's really cool. So I was down at the Wheelhouse Lounge, was chilling out, and shout out to the to D and Renee over there at the Wheelhouse Lounge. And I was letting them know that I was heading over. I was going to be doing my podcast with my brother, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you guys do your podcast here?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I want to talk to my bro about this." So going back and forth about it, and now we've been offered that, bro. So we get to go over there, set up lounge and a podcast over there, do our show from there.
Let's go for it. I'm down.
Yeah. It's a great environment. It's pretty cool. Come through, and might be able to get a few people to come by and talk and speak. So it should be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I love the folks over at Wheelhouse. My buddy Phil does some work with them, and he's put together a couple of comedy shows and let me be a part of those. And they always put on a good party. A great group of folks over there. So.
Wow, see, bro, that's just everything just aligning itself together. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of those folks over there. And I said, big fan of those fans over there.
Yeah. No, that's really cool, man. It's going to be fun to, link up and just kind of do something different in our community. So,
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So what do you got coming up that you're looking forward to? Anything going on in your world that's exciting, entertaining?
Well, let's see. We're coming close down to the end of the year, and it's the most important thing that I got going on right now. I have 2 children's birthdays 2 weeks apart. So I have a daughter who's turning 15. She's having her super huge quinceañera. So I want to, just send a shout out to her and tell her how much I love her. And it's awesome, super. She's going from a youngster to a young woman, She was, like a young girl, and she's going into a young lady, and that is cool. I'm excited. I have her little brother who is going from 9 to 10, and that's, to me, it's double digits, and that's cool, because now it's just he's getting older and older, and I'm happy for that too. But the only thing is their birthdays are 2 weeks apart, so I got financially a lot of stuff to take care of, and it's cool. Let's do it.
The birthday budgeting stuff. I actually have one of those tomorrow. Maddie turns 12 tomorrow.
Maddie, man, happy early birthday to my little friend. You guys got anything big planned? What is she doing?
She wants all of her birthday stuff to be money towards her cat. So she's gonna get money towards her cat, and then her friend's gonna come over and have cake and ice cream with us tomorrow after school, and then me and the kids are going to go on an island Packers cruise. Mm-hmm. We're going to do like a wildlife cruise on Friday. So that'll be a little bit birthday-ish, but more,
no, that's
hanging out.
That's what they like to do. But see, when these kids get older, they're starting to learn to, if you ask them, what do you want to do for your birthday parties are what we want to give them. Unless they ask for them, these kids want specific things, certain things that they just want. And I think that that's kind of cool. You know, my kids say, oh, you know, I don't want to throw a party. I just want the money that you were going to. Well, why? What are you going to do with it? Well, I wanted to buy these clothes and these shoes and this thing and this, that. And it's like, oh, okay. And I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, Tommy was over the birthday party thing pretty early. Where he's like, oh, I'd rather the family all just go to, you know, the Queen Mary or whatever. I think that's what we did last year. I think for the Queen Mary for his birthday.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's, you know, yeah, that's what he wanted to do. That's my birthday.
Spend the night on a haunted boat.
Yeah, well, you know,
Happy birthday, kid.
You know, this old fellow told me a really cool thing growing up. You know, I was working at this job and was in my late 20s, I think. Yeah, late 20s or so, early 30s. And he was like, you know, I was telling him about birthday and it's coming up and I don't want to know what to do. And he's like, hey, listen, youngster, black guy. He was real cool. He was like, since I was young, I always made sure that I did what I wanted to do for my birthday. And he goes, so what I would do is I would plan my birthday the way that I wanted it to be. Me. This is what I'm doing for my birthday. Now, I'll invite you. And if you want to come and hang out at my party, cool. That's cool. I'll no problem. But if you don't, that's fine. I won't feel upset. I won't have any issues. I didn't obligate you, and I won't expect anything.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I threw a party that I wanted to throw for me. So if no one shows up, I'll still have fun because it was only meant for me anyway.
Right.
So I always, ever since he told me that, I've lived the rest of my life that way. So my birthday parties are always, that's why you won't hear like, oh, I'm having this birthday party if you want to come. No, I just do what I want to do. Like, I don't know, I'm going to here for the weekend, or I'm going here for my birthday, or, you know, hey, I'm going to go paintball shooting. Guys, you guys want to go for my birthday? Well, yeah, cool. All right. If they don't, it doesn't matter. I'm still going.
Right. Play a pickup game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I've always lived with that kind of motto.
I like that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, throw a party for me. If you want to go, that's cool. But if you don't want to, that's cool too.
No, I'm still going to be there.
Nice.
The party's going to be at this bar. Really? Yeah, I'm going to be there. My whole birthday, I'm getting fucked up. If you want to come by, come by. If not, I'll still be there. No matter what.
So what's happening with My Fight Shop West Coast?
My Fight Shop has been doing, it's doing all right. Like, it's not like, I sell stuff in a cool little wave, and I have more vendors now. So now I carry RDX and, Tidal and Damage Control and, Hayabusa and, a few other things that I have my hands on. I got, some stuff from Super Rare, and it's cool. I'm doing pop-up shop right now, so I can pop up anywhere.
Nice.
So if there's people out there who, vendor fairs, stuff like that, let me know. I can come and, set up and even at the fights, like I said, wanting to reach out to, the guys over there at Sparstar and be like, hey, if you guys allow us to kind of set up our podcast and the booth right next to each other, that would be amazing.
We better get a hold of them soon because they got one coming up here in about 3 weeks.
I think
coming up soon.
Yeah, that's soon. I mean, if it's possible. I see the vision of it. If it's right next to each other, that's super cool. Running a podcast, we got the store right next to it. So
I gotta say that commerce venue, that outdoor tent has become quite the venue, man. They do a lot of fights out there now.
Yep, everybody wants to do their fights there. It looks good. They got pyro. They got video camera and everything.
Just here's a word to the wise, and I think you would say this too. Get your ass there early.
Yeah.
Because parking could be challenging if
sure.
you try to roll up fashionably late, showing off your new felt suit or whatever.
You will fashionably not be seen until you get in the building, and that's after your ass have sweated out your perm.
Yep, walking through the city of commerce from some other parking lot.
Yep. So don't.
There is a lot of parking, but boy, it could be challenging if you get there late. And
Yep.
It could be challenging. Slow to get through, slow to park. So get there early, and it's no issues. Getting out, I don't think there's an issue, but we're never really in a rush to leave either.
Yeah.
People kind of trickle out throughout the night, so it's
Yeah,
usually not an
they head
issue
straight
at all.
to the casino. So if you're trying to leave, you got like a good little window to get in your car and get the hell on.
Yeah, I say if your event's at 7, get there at 6:30, get in, and it's a cool atmosphere. I mean, we're there all the time before the fights come out. You've got the cage sitting there, the lights, they're testing out the sound.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too much testing out the sound.
Yeah.
People are running back and forth. You see some of the fighters coming in, trying to get their last minute feels of the
weigh-ins
stage.
and all these little things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's a good atmosphere. So if you can, get there early and get yourself comfortable. Don't sit and wait till the last minute and get stuck in the Commerce parking lot.
Stuck in the rut.
So we have that to look forward to. And for that, I believe it's sspmma.com. And you can find out information on the Sparstar events coming up.
Yes, sir.
As far as myself, comedy-wise, I've got a few gigs coming up, but nothing super local here. So I'll just have to drop calendar dates at a later time.
Let people know.
Yeah, trying to work on a couple of things. I'm trying to do more and more work with a couple of the nonprofits like Turning Point, and trying to get some stuff going with them, and trying to set myself up to do to get the next expo down and things like that. The next expo is going to be really different from the last two, so the next expo is going to take a lot of effort, but I think it's going to be better, and overall for my sensibilities it's going to be easier for me to put together. So
okay, yeah, well, we love the expos are awesome, bro. So
yeah, I think
we're here full support.
I appreciate it, man. I loved having you guys there. It was such a blast.
We loved being there. It was awesome. It was really, really cool.
I still have a lot of pictures. I had an event photographer there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I have pictures to send to you too. So
oh, right on.
I just got a bunch of them.
All right, that's awesome.
Every time I think about sending them, then I get sidetracked on something else. I'm like, I fall so far behind.
It's a story of my life. Sidetrack.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about time management one of these days, because you've got to be good at time management with all of the things that you have going on.
Oh yeah, we'll have a great We'll have a great show talking about time management.
Yeah,
and how it's done.
Sounds good, man. All right, thanks for listening to the Walkout podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and leave a comment too. We'd like to have some questions from you. You can send us an email. Send us an email at let's go with giggleslive.sp@gmail.com. giggleslive.sp@gmail. That should get us we have our own email, but I don't know it offhand, so I'm throwing that one out there.
There you go.
Maybe in post I'll throw the real email in there. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. Probably not, because that would take a lot of effort, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
Well, thanks for making time to make it over here, bro.
You always know that's how we do it, bro.
All right, man. Well, have a good night. Thanks for listening to the Walkout.